after that. Government moves to silence Standard Group in license row. I knew something was going to crack. I knew the newspaper has been so bold. I mean, some of the things that the Standard newspaper has been writing, the headlines. And there is now a blunted attempt by the government to gag the Standard Group by revoking all broadcasting licenses that were legally issued to the company. In a letter dated April 9th, the Communication Authority of Kenya Director, through the Director General David Mugonyi, announced the revocation of the licenses, citing non-remittance of license fees and the Universal Service Fund, USF levy. Hey, something was going to break. Drama festivals wrap up with powerful acts, social reflections, and then police are hunting for a guy. I really don't know what Kenyans think. This dude, a chopper was taken off, and he stood just strategically, and when the chopper had taken off, he literally just hung on to the chopper, and they took him up. I think the pilot realized later on that this son of the soil was hanging on that machine, and he dropped him in a farm somewhere. So police are looking for this guy because I think he's psycho. His name is Salom Obise. What a way to get a ride on a chopper, huh? It's just crazy. Same helicopter, 2 crashes and a cloud of doubt over Ogola death. It's 1 year anniversary, and that's why we have a lot of stories on Ogola. Then protest bill comes back to haunt Ruku during CS interview. The guys from his area, Embu, they call him Roko. Roko. In Kikuyu, Roko is a stick that has been burnt. You know how you put a stick? I am hoping I'm getting my Kikuyu right. It's a stick that you've put into the fire and it's burning. I used to hear my grandma tell us, Songesha hiyo roko. The back page, Flick has Barcelona on cusp as Champions League semi-final. And then we go to the nation. Why is Kenya still in Haiti? $1 million question. Burden. China and Russia vetoed the USA push for a UN peacekeeping force. Meaning now a UN peacekeeping force will not be put on the ground in Haiti. So that brings the question, who's going to fund it? If not the United Nations, definitely not Kenya. So far we've spent $4.6 billion shillings, sorry. Nations had pledged around 14.3. Shene, you had Canada, US, Germany, Korea, France, Spain, Italy, Turkey, and Singapore. And so far we've lost two elite police officers. 2 others are seriously injured 10 months into the operation. Then you have death on 2 wheels. Boda now killing more people than cars. It's true. Jailed for 81 million scam. And this dude says his identity was stolen. What? Lawyer says judgment erred in demanding his client to pay 2 million dirhams, yet he was already in prison. Then the witness recounts how a man saw his mother stab his father fatally. Past ghosts haunt Ruto CS nominee during vetting by House Committee. But whatever happens, it's going to pass. Majority of successful 2024 KCSE candidates shun applying for university admissions. That's interesting. That's strange. Okay. Apex Court shields landowners from grabbers targeting expired leases. Many property owners in Nairobi have been dispossessed of by fraudsters working in cahoots with the land ministry officials. You know, these things, there are people who, when they die, they'll stand before God, and you're cast into hell simply because of a piece of soil. Anyway. The Star newspaper, dilemma for Kalonzo as Uhuru backs Matiang'i bid. He's also facing stiff internal competition. I guess Kalonzo is. Aki Kalonzo. Always so close but so far. So close but so far. The quiet revolution of mothers leading fight against malnutrition. Bad Samaritan defiler to spend 15 years in prison. Then we got Kalonzo headache as Kenyatta backs Matiang'i for top job. It's only reasonable for him to back Matiang'i because I think Matiang'i was his best cabinet secretary and really saved Uhuru's skin, right? Then we have audit exposes rot in CDF as courts propose kitty closed. Then indigenous kids stunting due to state persecution. Then if you're looking for MyGov, the newspapers, the government piece that normally carries all the tenders and stuff, it's in the Star today, and the Star is normally given free on a day like today. Then we have Chebet in sports. Chebet psyched up. All that coming up later on. All right, we go for a short break. When we come back, we'll take a look at some of the stories that have been happening, including some of the tough questions that CS nominee Geoffrey Rocco was asked yesterday as he was grilled by Parliament as he seeks to replace his brother, JB Muturi, as the Public Service Cabinet Secretary. All that coming.
Watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
This Easter, escape the chaos, embrace tranquility. Welcome to Lukenya Getaway, your serene retreat away from the city's hustle and bustle. Looking for the perfect venue for your next conference? Lukenya Getaway offers world-class conference facilities amid nature's beauty. For full-day conference packages, we've got you covered with seamless service and a productive atmosphere. For half-day package, elevate your event with outstanding customer care and modern amenities. Looking to bond, strategize, and grow? Well, our team-building specialists tailor experiences just for you. From fun, engaging activities to top-notch catering, we ensure your team lives stronger and more inspired. And when the day is done, retreat to our luxurious rooms and suites. Traveling solo? Enjoy the comfort and serenity of our single rooms, designed to be your perfect home away from home. On a getaway with family or friends, our spacious double rooms offer the perfect blend of relaxation and modern convenience for a memorable day. At Lukenya Getaway, we bring you the ultimate balance of business, relaxation, and adventure, all in one place. Book your experience today and rediscover the joy of tranquility.
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
This Easter, escape the chaos, embrace tranquility. Welcome to Lukenya Getaway, your serene retreat away from the city's hustle and bustle. Looking for one place. Book your experience today and rediscover
You are watching EBN TV, transforming your world.
Welcome back. Now, Public Service Cabinet Secretary CS nominee Geoffrey Ruku was haunted by his controversial assemblies and demonstration bill that is sponsored, intended to curtail Kenyans' constitutional rights in favor of the executive. Appearing before lawmakers for vetting at Parliament buildings in Nairobi, Ruku said the bill was designed to protect vulnerable groups, including children, the elderly, and the sick, from the adverse effects of chaotic demonstrations. He told members of Parliament, if approved, he will champion fairness and transparency in public service, as well as ensure all Kenyan communities are well represented in the service. He pledged to foster equality and inclusivity by fighting for minority groups such as persons living with disabilities.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. Article 7 gives two conditions for Kenyans to be able to enjoy the right to assemble, to demonstrate, to picket, and to present petitions to public authorities. These conditions are peaceable place and unarmed. Honorable Speaker, we know we have seen armed demonstration, violent demonstrations in the Republic of Kenya. To assure this committee and Kenyans that I will ensure I abide by Article 232 of our Constitution, which talks about the values and principles of public service. And the values on principles of public service, the issue of fairness, fair competition and merit on the basis of the opportunities and promotions. Honorable Speaker, I can confirm I have not devoted or defrauded anybody on matters rent or matters concerning private business or private engagement.
I see a lot of it is because of dependency. If girls were able to have economic power, they would not depend on the either gender. Sometimes you find them in places where they are exposed because they are trying to get alternative source of income. We also have challenges to do with, I've said education. Education, yes. If a woman is educated, chances are that they will avoid some of these challenges which are there in the society. So we need to encourage our girls.
The girls who have been killed in Airbnbs are in universities. They're educated.
They're educated, but those ones are looking for money. Yes. You know, a girl has many needs.
Point of order. Point of order.
Oh, yes,
Point of order.
Honorable Mishi.
Honorable Chairman, it is not good to say that those girls are looking for money, and that is why they're brutally murdered. We have seen so many other women who have been murdered, and not in those circumstances. So it is very wrong to say that those women who have been found, they have been butchered, their body dismembered, put in a sack, that they were doing that for money.
Taken.
The conflict resolution on the ground comes because the challenges of insecurity is because of income. The cows which are stolen from Baringo, for example, are stolen because of bride price. They are taking those cows so that they can pay dowry for another wife. So how to deal with that one is to encourage, first of all, to try and deal with this issue of you must give out 20 cows. For me, even Cheptumo did not pay the 2, and I am still married to him. So you don't have to have 20 cows.
That was the nominee for Ministry of Gender, Culture and Arts and Heritage, a lady called Hannah Wendot Cheptumo, who is the widow of the late Baringo Senator William Cheptumo, basically being grilled by Parliament there. If you didn't know, well, super petrol, diesel and kerosene prices actually went down by $1.95 and 2 shillings and 20 cents and 2 shillings and 40 cents per litre respectively in the latest Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority EPRA review. The new prices, which took effect last evening midnight, will go through all the way till the 14th of May, and we'll see a litre of petrol go for 174 shillings and 63 cents in Nairobi, while diesel will sell at 164.86. Kerosene will meanwhile cost 148.99 a litre in the capital, and in Mombasa the cost is going to go up to 171.39, 161.62, 175.5 for a litre of diesel and kerosene respectively. So basically, that's, if you go to the pump, that's what you're going to get. You're going to have all that happening. At the same time, IEBC selection panel chaired by Dr. Nelson Makanda continued with the interviews for commissioners in Nairobi. Mary Karen Chesang Kigen and Mary Njeru Mburu were among the candidates interviewed by the panel, with less than 2 weeks to go to the end of the interviews. The panel shortlisted 105 men and women for 6 vacant electoral bodies commissioners' position. The month-long interviews kicked off on the March 24th and will end on the 24th of this month.
The budgetary process of IEBC, I would believe it follows the procedural process of other budgets. Because when you are coming up with a budget, what is a budget? Budget is funding. So you associate all the activities you are going to do to a budget because they'll cost things. If you are planning to carry out an election, the mandate of IEBC is they conduct the elections, they supervise the elections, and each of those have got a cost. So you attribute or you associate each of the costs with the activity, and that is where budgetary comes in. So if I am given a budget is not a figure that is placed on people. It is built up of activities. So you have so many activities. You have risk control. You have technology procurement. You have got human resources. You have training. All those add up into budget. So the budgetary procedure will be, first of all, take stock of what activities are involved What activities are being carried out?
Limitation of boundaries is late. The NATCO report proposed parliamentary process so that we can have the limitation. I'll propose that one if times allows, because if you go through the long process, will not be able, so unless you go through the process. Then secondly, from Kriegler all the way, elections are won at the polling station, or won or lost at the polling station. So that elections, Kenyans should know that the Form 34A at the polling station is the results, and we're going to uphold that one. The rest is...
Well, it's going to be pretty interesting once these interviews are done and we finally get somebody to head over the IEBC. Then after that, we have quite a number of by-elections that are supposed to take place before 2027, and then the delimitation of boundaries. We're hopefully going to see more constituencies being created because the population has increased in quite a number of areas, and you have so many people living in one place, while the boundaries can be set up and divided so that people can have administrative places where they can go for help. Now, government spokesman Isaac Mora has said that the drama festival that was scheduled for last week in Nakuru was highly politicized. Mora said the playwright Cleophas Malala should be blamed for using children for politics. He also criticized the police for using tear gas canisters on children and journalists during the festivals, and at the same time calling on Kenyans to ignore the financial bill that is being disseminated online, saying that the financial bill for 2025-2026 has not yet been presented, and that if it's presented, then the citizens will be involved through public participation.
To political cause on account of saying that he's a thespian, is a playwright for many years. No, that is not acceptable. We know very well if it would have been any other person, that would not have been in question. But the person involved in this whole issue has had a fallout with the current administration. At some point, he was a senior official attending even cabinet, and he has used this opportunity to fight back the government using our children, and of course as a front. And that is playing drama, using drama to play drama. I mean, how do you do that? How do you front children and then claim that they are the ones who, are being attacked? It is regrettable, of course, that our police used tear gas against the journalists and also the children. That is regrettable. And as a government, we would want to say that is not acceptable, and action shall be taken accordingly. However, it is important to set the record straight that matter has been highly politicized, and of course, every other Tom, Dick, and Harry, they have jumped in. To mince political mileage out of it. It's unfortunate, and we will not tolerate, as a government, going forward, such behavior. The rules must be followed. Teachers must ensure that they have the right people who train their children. Contrary to misinformation circulating online, the 2025-2026 budget process is still underway. No finance bill 2025 has been proposed, drafted, or tabled in Parliament. As per established timelines, revenue-raising measures such as a finance bill only follow the release of the draft budget after April 30th. Kenyans will be fully engaged through public participation once the finance bill is officially submitted to Parliament. The government unequivocally states that there is no finance bill 2025 tabled anywhere yet, and such outrageous claims should be shunned. And we are calling upon the members of the press to help us so that we do not spread propaganda. Accordingly, Kenyans will have the opportunity to interrogate any revenue-raising measure through a thorough public participation only after the draft budget and finance bill have been released by the National Treasury and submitted to...
Well, at least one thing I can agree with Maura is that I don't think it's right to use children to pass certain political messages. Get some guys who are actors and take them to where do you call this? The National Theatre. Come up with a play and let it be done there by mature people instead of having people's children tear gas. At the same time, police ought to exercise a lot of caution when dealing with these young people. Why in the world throw tear gas canisters? you might hurt people in the process. But anyway, this is Politics 101. 3 people have lost their lives while others were seriously injured in a grisly accident at Kwambira along Nairobi-Nakuru Highway. The crash occurred after a 14-seater matatu belonging to Tripping Luxury heading to Nairobi collided with a canter. A witness, Patrick Masharia, blamed the incident on speeding by the matatu driver. Notably, another fatal accident occurred on the same place last week on Thursday, with 5 people losing their lives after a private 14-seater matatu rolled multiple times after a tire burst caused the driver to lose control of the vehicle.
Unakuta mtu anakuja kabisa bio, naye mwingine anakuja anakanyanga breki. Kwa hivyo anashtukia mara moja kuna kitu mwenzake amekanyanga. Kwa hivyo hapa suluhisho hapa sio kitu kingine, ni madereva wao waangalifu. Waache tu kuoverlap na waache tu kuja na speed na waache overtaking. Kwa maana hapa ukiovertaking hauoni mwenzako pale vile amekuja, na hiyo ndio inaleta shida kubwa hapa.
The users of our roads to prioritize safety and also to observe speed limits, as well as paying attention to the roads they are using. That is to mean to be aware of the road conditions, especially at this time when we have rainy season.
Yeah, drive carefully as you're going towards that direction. No, Friday is Easter, and so quite a number of people will be traveling. So just exercise caution. A lot of people drive carelessly during this period. President William Ruto met religious leaders from Kiambaa, Kabete, and Thika in Kiambu County yesterday. The head of state said that the country calls for concerted efforts from all sections of leadership, including political and religious leaders. He also waved a red flag on what he termed as rumors of bringing the country down.
Lakini sisi, I thank God tuko na wewe. Na umekuwa ukishikilia kanisa sana. Na
I want to encourage you as the clergy of our nation. We have a great nation. Let us not bring it down with rumors, negative energy, vitu ambayo haisaidii. Yeah? And that is why I'm focused. Because it is what it is, and that is how we are going to change this nation. So msikuwe na wasiwasi, hii maneno yote hii iko namna hiyo, na tutaendelea, na Mungu atatujalia, because our intentions are good and we want to do what is right for our nation.
There is no way there can be a state separate from the church. Na kwa hivyo hii urafiki lazima idumu. Mkipiga kona na sisi tunapiga, tukipiga na nyinyi mnapiga, we have to walk this journey together. Hii kazi tulifanya pamoja, Your Excellency. Hawa watu walikuchagua na for sure, kwa sababu Kiambu ndio iliongoza kuchagua. Nataka kuamini ya kwamba influence ya wachungaji na kuwaga juu sana. Mnaweza ambia Wakristo wako tusiende hapo na wakose kuenda. So kwa hivyo mimi kama mama county, na mimi nasema we are going to exist and exist with you. Na mkipiga kona, tunapiga na nyinyi. Na sisi tukipiga, mnapiga na sisi. We have to work together to bring this country together. Ndio tutakapofika pale mwisho, we give God all the glory. Kwa hivyo tuko hapa siku hii ya leo, tukisema tunafanya hii kazi pamoja, to deliver our country to where God wanted us to be. Asante sana Mheshimiwa Rais, watu wa Kiambu wanakuamini, na ndio sababu wakakupatia kura zao hivyo.
Well, the meetings have started. It feels like deja vu, doesn't it? Now, Health Cabinet Secretary Aden Duale is assuring governors of a better working relationship as opposed to his predecessors. He promised to hold frequent consultation with the realization that health is a devolved function. Speaking after a high-level consultative meeting between governors and the CS, which also served as a familiarization meeting, which was the first since he assumed the ministry, CS Duale said there has been so many gaps in relaying information as well as actioning on what has been agreed upon, insisting there needed to be a swift change to create not only bonds and synergy between the two levels of government, but to also give way for the full implementation of the universal health coverage, which to him is lagging behind.
For the Ministry of Health programs to succeed and to secure the health well-being of our citizens, our collaboration, our commitment, our partnership with the Council of Governors and the 47 county governments, health CECs is paramount. And that's why I have come here. Chairman, I want you to look for me an office around here. Because the majority, the 47 governors are here and I'm only one, I am ready to come and attend all the meetings here.
We are, as a Council of Governors, extremely pleased with the Minister's suggestions, responses, and commitments. Our challenge with the Ministry of Health has not been agreeing with them or reaching agreements. Our challenge has been honoring those agreements, implementing them, following them through. And now we have assurance and we feel it that whatever we agree will be followed through, will be bulldozed, inshallah, and will be implemented.
Listening to Waziri, we have made some very, very positive progress. And my plead is to the President. President William Ruto, kindly let this minister stay here. There is too much movement and we are in the critical stage of implementation of UHC. Give him some time to acclimatize and to be able to push this program for the sake of Kenyans and for us within the counties who know that this constant change sometimes becomes detrimental.
Well, the CEOs also reiterated the ministry's commitment to settling pending bills by the 14th day of every month in a move to ensure medical services provision are uninterrupted. In a meeting with the Council of Governors and other stakeholders, the CS Duale said all pending bills that have been confirmed to be legal will be settled and that no corruption will be seen while he is in charge.
And I've assured the country last time when I took that every 14th day of the month, everybody will be paid. In this meeting, there is the acting CEO of SHA, there is the acting CEO of the Digital Health. I want to confirm to the nation, we have paid all facilities who posted their claim regularly and legally. We will weed out corruption, we will weed out fraud. And I want to say it so that they hear the facilities. This morning we have stopped a facility in one of the counties that has claimed to have done 10 surgeries. And when we go, the system will trace the doctor, and the doctor said, I am 500 kilometers away from that facility. You can see the kind of fraud that facility is going. And we will get more. And I finally want to thank the Council of Governors for welcoming me. I want to assure you that unlike what you went through, please make sure that, that what we have asked, for example, we asked the Council Governors and they'll provide us this afternoon. There are about 2,900 public facilities run by our 47 counties which have not been registered. We want them to be registered.
Okie doke. Now, we're going to go to a story from the North Rift region where KMPDU section from that area has threatened to call for a doctor strike in Trans Nzoia, citing frustration and a lack of goodwill from Governor George Natembeya. The union criticized the governor for failing to remit Social Health Authority deductions for 3 months and for not providing essential medical equipment needed to deliver quality healthcare services. KMPDU North Rift Vice Person Dr. Darwin Ambuka expressed concern over Governor Natembeya's frequent presence on social media while the county's health sector continues to deteriorate.
of Health to award services to your own people. So we do not want and we do not care. By the way, we are not politicians here. The thing you are doing there may look politically palatable, but on the healthcare deliverables, whatever you are doing is an injustice, not only to the doctors and the health workers of Trans Nzoia. You are doing injustice to the people of Trans Nzoia.
We know people will say that NHIF was marred with a lot of corruption and all that, but I don't think we are seeing any difference in SHA currently as we talk. Because if we say that members should actually take this card and they go to the health facilities and access services, but at the same time we are not paying for these services, what is going to happen to these facilities? They are going to collapse. So tomorrow there will be nowhere to run to when you are sick. We said the other day that the national government through the treasury has to be very deliberate, because the capitation that currently is being given by the treasury is actually not enough. 900 shillings per member in every county. You see, this is just a drop in the ocean. Have we done the calculations? Have we done the costing for us to be able to know for a certain procedure to be done, for a certain service to be offered, how much is needed for us to be able to give that service? And not just giving the services, but we as doctors are concerned more with affordable, yes, but also quality. The word quality has to come in.
And finally, let's touch base with the ODM party whose supporters from Navaholo constituency have declared their unwavering support for ODM leader Raila Odinga should he decide to run for the presidency in 2027. They stated that it would be his decision to make, and as his loyal foot soldiers, they will stand by him. Speaking in Makunga, area of Kakamega, Navaholo, MP Emmanuel Wangwe and ODM chair Rogers Wahisi said no one should question Raila's direction in 2027.
Anatosha kusimama. Baba akisimama, uamuzi utakuwa ni wake, sisi ni wanajeshi wake, na mwanajeshi haulizi baba yake unaenda wapi, anapewa amri. Kwa hivyo yeye itakuwa amri kwamba huo ndio mwelekeo wetu. Kwa sasa sisi tumeambiwa na amri ya Mheshimiwa Raila kwamba tuko katika broad based. Ile itakayokuja 2027 atatupatia mwelekeo. Kwa leo, ninapozungumza leo, tuko katika broad based, na mimi nashukuru kwamba baba yetu ametuingiza katika broad based na tunashikilia hapo. Nafikiri wale ambao wanapinga uhusiano wetu na chama cha EBN wanania kuunda mrengo wao. Sisi tunawaambia endeleeni kuunda mrengo wenu, tutakutana hapo mbele. Iwapo tuendelea kushikana vile tuko namna hivi, tunaunda jeshi letu.
Tushikane na tujenge chama cha ODM. Tunajua kuna members wengi sana ambao wanataka wajoin chama chetu. Chama sio sisi peke yetu, wacha tukaweze kufungua milango. Members wengine wakaweze kujoin. Nikiangalia last time tulikuwa karibu 20,000 na 20,000 zinatosha sisi na Baholo hii kutoa mjumbe bila hata kuhangaika. But nataka kusema nikihimiza wacha by 2027 chama cha ODM tukawe na members zaidi ya 45,000. Itatusaidia sana ili tunapoanza kusemezana. So nadhani sisi na Baholo tunaenda kuchangia sana kwa Kakamega County ili next time tunapokuwa na anniversary nyingine wakuje wafanyie hapa na Baholo, wafanyie hapa Kakamega. Tukaribishe.
I'm very sure that's conversation Ruto doesn't want to hear, President Ruto rather, doesn't want to hear, coming out of the mouth of ODM supporters, because his hope is that Raila Odinga is going to support him in 2027. Probably that's the deal they've entered into. So when people started talking like this, it gives him the hebe-jabes. With that, we bring down the curtains on the show. Remember, at 9 a.m., we're going to have Your Faith Today, where your faith will be built up. We got preachers who are going to be praying and preaching over your needs, and then some great worship music that will help you minister to your spirit as you minister to the Lord. And then at 2 p.m., Manukato, Tutakata Manu. All right? With the Teddy and DJ show. So don't go away.